All my life I've wondered if what I've done was wrong. All I ever cared to do was ride my pony on. I never had no heartache. I was always happy and gay until I met a Texas girl who stole my heart away. Where the sleepy Rio Grande goes slowly to the sea. It was there she promised to be mine throughout eternity. But the angels, they grew jealous of her beauty and her smile. They came along one stormy night and stole away my bride. Little birds have hushed their singing. Sadness is over the land. The little birds all miss my sweetheart by the sleepy Rio Grande. Her lips were like a Russian wine. Her hair, it hung in curls. Her cheeks were like the dawn of day that breaks upon the world. She's gone and left me lonely. I miss the touch of her hand. Tonight, while I am walking by the sleepy Rio Grande, where the sleepy Rio Grande flows slowly to the sea. It was there she promised to be mine throughout eternity. But the angels, they grew jealous of her beauty and her smile, and came along one stormy night and stole away my bride. The birds have hushed their singing. Sadness is over the land. The little birds all miss my sweetheart by the sleepy Rio Grande.
This ballad was originally performed by the Carter family. They were a country music trio from the 1930s that recorded a lot of songs that you've probably heard before, like Wildwood Flower, Will the Circle Be Unbroken, and Worried Man Blues. Those are all standards in bluegrass music that most bluegrass musicians know. My Texas Girl is a little less well known than the other songs I mentioned, so we're going to be reintroducing this song to the bluegrass crowd this summer at La Roche. So let's take a closer look, first of all, at the meter, because that's one of the things that really sets this song apart. The other songs we've looked at had a meter of 4 beats to the measure. Do you remember? This one is not 4, is it? Count it. All my life I've wondered. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's different. And so that means that we're going to have to do a different kind of accompaniment and play different rhythm in our solos as well. The melody of the song is quite simple. It's 5 notes, pentatonic scale, just like Long Journey Home. So you'll get that pretty quickly. One of the difficult things will be getting the rhythm right. Now when I sing the song, the rhythm changes a little bit in each measure. When we play the melody on our instruments, the simplest thing to do will be to keep the pattern of long, short, long, short, long, short, long. Da 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 da. In my opinion, the hardest thing to learn about this song is going to be the mood. How would you describe the mood of this song? I would say this song is calm and sweet. The first 2 songs we did, all energy, all drive, all bounce. But this one, none of that. We want people to stop and listen, slow down their breathing, maybe sway when they hear us a little bit, maybe. If you listen to the words, you'll notice that it's also very sad. The singer is talking about a girl from Texas that he loved and that he met along the banks of the Rio Grande River. What happened to her? She died, didn't she? It says the angels came and took her away. So tonight, our singer is walking alone by the banks of the river, remembering this girl that he loved. Let's look at the key of this song. The key, remember, is usually the same as the last note of the song. So, what was the last note of the song? Listen to it again. What was that note? Did you find it on your instrument? It was a D, wasn't it? We were in the key of D before, weren't we, in Hop High Ladies? So you're going to have the same chords that we had in Hop High Ladies. You can check that with the circle of fifths, D, and then on either side, G and A. So those are the 3 chords, D, G, and A. Here's the chord chart. Now you'll notice that it looks pretty straightforward, except that I have written in some number 7s in there. There's a D7 and an A7. If you're not sure what that is yet, don't worry. We're going to explain that when we look at each instrument. It's just we're going to add another note into the chord that makes it feel a little off balance. And that's good. We want that. It's going to keep the song moving and flow and give it that kind of sad, nostalgic feel that we want. And then the last thing is the chorus. Does this song have a chorus? Was there a part that repeated? There was, wasn't there? It's something special about the chorus. It has the same melody and it has the same chords as the verse. It's just a little longer. There's an extra section on the end. It repeats the last 2 lines. To make it interesting, we can have a little break in between the 2 parts of the chorus. I added a little C chord when I played it earlier in this video. We'll have to think about how we want to arrange it this summer. But for now, just keep in mind that there's a chorus and a verse. They're the same. It's just that the chorus is a little longer than the verse. I think we're ready to start looking at how we play this song on each of our instruments. So get your instrument and get ready. We're going to learn how to play My Texas Girl. This song is in the key of D, which means you've got D, G, and A chords. D, G, and A. You've seen all of those before. The difference this time is I'm introducing a D7 chord. So D7, we do that. And an A7, we do A like that. To make it an A7, we simply lift this finger. First thing you need to know about 7th chords is they are not absolutely necessary. If you forget to do the 7th chord, or it's too hard to do the 7th chord, it's okay. A regular old D will work just as well. Adding that extra note makes the chord feel off balance, and you want to hear a different chord instead. Listen. What does that make you want to hear? It makes you want to hear this. Listen. If look at the circle of fifths, it makes sense. Every time you play a seventh chord, it makes you want to hear the chord that's right below it on the circle of fifths. So D, D7, makes you want to hear G. And A, A7, makes you want to hear D. So that's a little trick you can include in this song. It keeps the song moving and makes the transition from one chord to the next very smooth. Another thing you have to learn for this song is how to play in 3/4 time. And the basic technique is we play individual notes on the first beat and then strum on 2 and 3. And sometimes between the third and the first beat, we're going to do a up movement like that. So it goes. And then we can alternate the individual notes that we play like this. We can play a backup that's just 3 notes. 3 notes is all we need to play the backup in this song. We can start with this note, which is an F sharp, and then we can do a G and an E. 3. My Texas Girl is the sort of song that works really well for twin fiddles. That means we have 2 fiddles, each playing a different part. One will be playing the melody and the other playing a harmony part. I've written a simple arrangement. Read music, try to read it. Otherwise, just look what I'm doing with my fingers and try to copy. It's very important that the 2 instruments are well synchronized, that they're keeping the same rhythm throughout the song. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. We've played in the key of D before, so you remember in the open position, D is like that, G is like this, and A is like this. We're also going to try to add seventh chords. If you can't do the seventh chord, it's okay. Just play a regular major chord, a D7 chord, so I started with that. Add the seventh chord, it's here. We're adding that note on the A chord. Here's the A. To add the seventh, it's right here. So I go. All right, so when we play, we're going to play on the second and third beats of the measure. If you play on the first beat, you can sometimes just do an individual note, like. And since we're playing lots of open strings, I deaden them with my finger. I go like that. You don't have to do that either. You can let it ring if you want. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We can also play those chords up higher on the neck, up here. So remember we showed you this in the Hop High Ladies video, that's D. And then we can play D7 by moving down this low one to here. Doing that. By moving down this low one to here, was here. And A is here, and then to get the seventh, I'm doing it right there. So here's the whole progression. Instead of doing chops, we can also do tremolos. Tremolo is simply we move our pick very fast and play lots of notes in rapid succession, like that. To do that, you got to hold your pick kind of sideways. We're not going across the strings like this. That's normally how we pick, but we're turning it kind of like this. See that? You can do it in the open strings if you want to. That's okay. However, it sounds even better, I think, if you play it up the neck. So here's an idea for an accompaniment that I used in the video before, where you're playing just pairs of notes, and this will work for a solo, or it could work for an accompaniment. And like this. So you have two positions, more spread apart and more closer together using your middle finger. And this is G and here. So it's the same fingering. That's D and this is G, just on different pairs of strings. And then to do an A, it's here. And then we can slide that up and bring our fingers closer together right here. We can also do arpeggios. Arpeggios are when we take the chord and we string out the notes. We play them one by one. And in this song, that can work too. So, for example, if we have our D chord like this, we can go, and then G chord. So remember I showed you we could go up the neck and play that sort of thing? We can also play those as arpeggios. So you can do an A, a D, and a G up here. So this is the D. And then we just cross over to the next string down and we do the same thing for G. Then back to the D. Now we need to go to the A, so we're just going to go up to the upper two strings. Girl. I am in open C tuning with a capo on the second fret, and then I've tuned up this high string to an A. So that gives this sound. You also have to work on the right technique for the right hand. So we're still doing strumming down with the back of our middle finger or your index finger, and then picking off the high string with the thumb. On the first beat, we strike a note with the back of our finger. On the second, we strum. And on the third, we strum. And on the 3.5, right before the 1 again, we pluck off. So a D chord is like this. Or we can play it here. It's simpler to play it here. That's a D7. If you don't do the D7, it's okay. You can just a regular D chord. But that's the D7. The G chord is here. And the A is like this. And you can do the A7 by putting your finger down here. So the whole progression of the song is like this. Simple break for clawhammer style banjo on My Texas Girl. When we're playing in 3/4 time, we're just playing on the first beat of the measure. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And we're going to be playing in the key of D, so we're going to be here on the D chord is here on the inner two strings. play a G chord up here on the top two strings. And the A chord is here, or we can play it here. We can also add some passing notes. When we're going between a D chord and a G chord, we can go, right? And when we're going from a D chord to an A chord, we can walk it down from the D string, a D down to an A, like that. Between an A chord and a D chord, we can go, so the whole progression, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There's one more instrument that we have to work on, and that is the voice, the vocals. This song, it tells a story, it's a ballad, so it'll be very important to get the singing right. And we're going to need singers who are self-confident, who are able to sing this song with conviction. If you go back and listen to the video at the beginning, I think you'll be able to understand the words and just try to copy what I've done and sing the melody. It's a very simple melody. The difficult part will be getting the rhythm right, because sometimes it follows that long, short pattern that we talked about. But sometimes, because of the pronunciation, it doesn't. For example, it goes, all my life I wondered, right? Wondered is short, long, not long, short. And it just depends on the pronunciation of the words in English. So to help you with that, I've prepared a sheet with all the lyrics and all of the syllables and all of the words that are held longer, I've underlined. Keep in mind that there's a harmony part in the chorus as well. Little birds have hushed their singing, sadness is over the land. Little birds all miss my sweetheart by the sleepy Rio Grande.